I used to believe maps couldn't lie. Paper doesn't think. Ink doesn't change. A trail is either there, or it isn't. That's what I believed before Marker 13. Now I know some maps aren't meant to help you escape. Some are meant to lead you somewhere no one ever returns from. After the night of the invisible footsteps, Ethan and I barely spoke. We had lost all sense of direction. The compass spun endlessly. The sun never stayed where it should. Even our memories felt uncertain. The only thing we knew was that we had to keep moving. Standing still in that forest always made things worse. The next morning, while searching an abandoned ranger shelter for supplies, I found an old leather backpack hidden beneath a collapsed shelf. Inside were a rusty flashlight, a half-empty canteen, a weathered notebook, and a folded map. At first glance, it looked like an official hiking map of the national forest. Every campsite, every stream, every marked trail, everything seemed normal. Until I noticed one thin red line, a trail labeled Return Path. I frowned. I've never heard of this. Ethan leaned over my shoulder. His face immediately went pale. Fold it. What? Now. I'd never seen fear in Ethan's eyes like that before. Not even when the faceless creature copied our voices. Not even when we found the staircases. This was different. He looked defeated. My grandfather told me about maps like that, he whispered. They don't show where you are. They show where it wants you to go. I laughed nervously. You don't really believe that. He didn't answer. Instead, he grabbed the map, then froze. The red trail wasn't in the same place anymore. It had moved. My smile disappeared. The line slowly stretched across the page like fresh ink spreading through paper, until it reached a tiny black symbol. A circle. Inside the circle were two words. You are here. My blood ran cold. We hadn't marked our location. The map had. Without thinking, I folded it shut. For several hours, we ignored the map completely. We followed the river instead. The water always led somewhere. At least, that's what I kept telling myself. By late afternoon, the river simply stopped, not ended, stopped. The water flowed normally 1 second, then froze completely. Like glass, every ripple, every bubble, every splash, perfectly still. Even the sound disappeared. No flowing water, no birds, nothing. Then something floated beneath the frozen surface. A backpack, then another, then a boot, then a hand, reaching upward. I stumbled backward. The hand slowly pressed against the underside of the water, as if someone was trapped beneath it, watching us. Ethan grabbed my arm. We're leaving. Neither of us looked back. As darkness approached, we made camp beneath a rocky cliff. The map stayed inside my backpack, untouched, at least, until midnight. I woke to the sound of paper unfolding, slowly, deliberately. The backpack lay several feet away, yet the map had somehow unfolded itself. Moonlight illuminated the page, the red trail glowed faintly, moving, growing. I watched in horror as the line slowly extended beyond the edge of the paper, across the dirt, like liquid blood, forming a path through the forest. Then a sentence appeared beneath it, fresh black ink, one letter at a time. Follow me. I shook Ethan awake. He stared silently, then whispered, It's found us. Neither of us slept after that. Morning came with thick fog. The glowing trail had disappeared. Only the map remained, folded neatly, as though nothing had happened. We should have burned it. We kept it. Hope makes people foolish. If the map knew where we were, maybe it also knew the way out. By noon, we reached an old stone bridge that wasn't marked on any normal map, only the strange one. The red trail crossed directly over it. This wasn't here before, I whispered. Ethan slowly replied, Maybe it only exists when someone needs it. The bridge crossed a deep canyon filled with dense white mist. We couldn't see the bottom, couldn't hear anything below. No wind, no water, just silence. Halfway across, I looked down. Faces, hundreds of them, floating beneath the fog, looking up, smiling. I nearly fell. When I looked again, the canyon was empty. On the other side stood another wooden sign. Unlike every other sign we'd found, this one looked brand new. Its arrow pointed deeper into the forest. The words read, Return Path, distance, 0.8 miles. The map matched perfectly. Against every instinct, we followed it. The trail was unlike anything we'd seen before. No leaves covered it, no fallen branches, no animal tracks. It looked freshly maintained, as though someone expected visitors. After 20 minutes, we found footprints, bare feet, small, child-sized, walking neatly down the center of the trail. Every footprint contained water, though the ground was dry. The prints stopped beside a massive oak tree. Carved into the bark were hundreds of names, some old, some new. One name caught my attention. Ryan Carter. My name. I had never been there before, had I? Ethan quietly stepped away from the tree. His own name was there too, freshly carved, still dripping sap. Then, the map changed again. The red trail ended. A black square appeared ahead. No label, just darkness. We continued cautiously. Soon we reached it. A doorway, standing alone. No walls, no building. Just an old wooden door in the middle of the forest. The map showed the trail continuing beyond it. I reached for the handle. Ethan grabbed my wrist. Don't. Why? He pointed at the ground. There were footprints leading to the door, hundreds of them. None came back. Then the door slowly creaked open by itself. Inside, there wasn't a room, only another forest, much darker than ours. The trees were impossibly tall, the sky completely black. A voice drifted from inside, gentle, familiar. My mother's voice, then my father's. We've been waiting. Behind them, Jake laughed, then Lily, then the ranger. Every voice we'd lost. The map slipped from my hands, landing at my feet. When I picked it up again, the paper was blank, except for one sentence, written in dark red ink. The trail ends when you step through. The doorway began closing, slowly, patiently, as though giving us one final chance. Ethan looked at me, his eyes filled with fear. Promise me. What? If I ever walk through, he swallowed, don't follow. The door slammed shut. The entire forest shook violently. Every tree bent toward the doorway, every bird took flight, every shadow stretched unnaturally long. Then, the map burned by itself, without fire, without heat, turning to black ash in my hands. As the last piece disappeared, something new appeared in the dirt beside us. A fresh trail, one that hadn't existed before, perfectly straight, leading into complete darkness. No sign, no markings, no explanation. Only one footprint stood at its beginning. It belonged to Ethan. He hadn't moved. Yet somehow, his footprint was already waiting on the trail, facing away from me, as though somewhere, some version of him had already started walking. To be continued.